All right, so good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is, I'll name this segment later, GTG spits that grease, etc, etc, etc. You guys all know the routine. Now, this is going to come out extremely late. The reason why this actually is going to probably come out the day of and not at its usual time. There's a reason for that though. One, I had already recorded this video. The video has already been recorded. It wasn't uploaded because our circumstances have changed. So with that, the situation itself has changed. So let me give you guys some context as it pertains to the case of particulars. I initially recorded this video when this whole situation was announced that Gundam was going to be going on to Kino Casino. The title hasn't already given me away. That was before DSP dropped the DMs. Now we've gone through a bit of a shift. So that original video is going to be vaulted. Maybe you guys will see it. You guys might see it one day. I have hundreds of videos vaulted for various reasons. One day you may see those things. I don't know, maybe I'll make a separate channel or something to put it over there. You guys can see what I was thinking. Anyway, so the situation and the circumstances have changed. Let's go ahead and run through it really fast, and then we'll get into where we're at now. Originally, when It'sAGundam was announced to come over there on Kino Casino on Friday, the day that you should be seeing this video, we didn't have the DMs yet. Kino Casino said that they were going to release some of the DMs and they were going to present it in a certain type of way. They were going to get Gundam's reaction to it as well as people who were coming to their streams. It was going to be a fun time all around. DSP was going to get felted. Just another win for the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics. Then DSP, with his Scud missiles, decided to do a preemptive strike, go ahead and have Review Tech USA on to go ahead and present the DMs himself and try to get Review Tech to side with him. Now that's going to be a whole separate video on that whole Review Tech USA situation, and as that, I'm going to go ahead and put out my thoughts right now because I recorded a video about that, and I'm also going to vault it because my situation has changed, excuse me, or my thoughts have changed since I initially recorded it. Rich has failed, and that's no different from what I originally said. Rich failed. I'll explain all that in detail, but Rich failed. If you think that Rich got a W, if you really think that Rich felt the DSP, cool, no worries. The reality is, in you know what I'm saying, looking in long term, he failed. He went into business for himself. He didn't get anything done. He, instead of getting content out of Phil, he made himself part of the content or made himself the content. And now most of you aren't even talking about that now anyway. Rich failed. Now, as it pertains to what DSP was trying to do, he was trying to get ahead of the situation by dropping the DMs. We all know this. Reality, ladies and gentlemen, is you're seeing the early stages of a lol-cow arms race between DSP and all the other people. Ethan Ralph, I heard it just got announced. I got a video coming on that. Actually, I'll record it right after this. And some other stuff. I'm sure Cog is going to be there. Mersh is going to be there. I'm wondering if Nick Rekieta is going to somehow jump into that. Yeah, you heard it here. I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Rekieta is going to get pushed into and brought into this too in some way, somehow, because why not? If we're going through the rose gallery of people who were relevant that aren't relevant anymore and wanted to talk to DSP, why not? Yet again, that'll be a separate video. We'll talk about that lol-cow arms race in another video. Now, but that's all we're at right now. This is a lol-cow arms race. Kino Casino is bringing in every detractor, troll, hater, or critic that at least of some relevance that they feel they can do that will felt DSP. DSP's trying to do the same. That's all this is, to be honest with you. It's all for the sake of content. It's all trying to one-up each other. It's, in a lot of ways, it's kind of like a really, because this is all a niche community type shit, right? This whole situation is niche. You're literally just seeing human chess being played in the poorest way possible. That's really all it is. And it makes me wonder, this is another video too that I'm going to do. I wonder if Kino Casino actually planned for it to kind of come out this way. Because the people that are involved, at least DSP and Ethan Ralph, are pretty predictable people, to be honest. And they are very much, as the sector, as the commentator community, as those communities are, the enemy of my enemy is my friend type shit. I'm really starting to think I know there is. There's a much larger situation here at play. Especially when Kino Casino, or PvP in particular, Triple P as I like to call him, said that he was trying to set up a situation where it was going to be DSP, Kino Casino, and lol-cow Live. Now that would have been big. Theoretically, if it's true what PPP said, if you can imagine it, you can make it happen. Theoretically, that can still be in play Fat Camp is a trash fire, which everybody expected, so on and so forth. But that doesn't mean Keem's not paying attention to what's going on here. Jesus Christ. The situation with the Discord leaks, big ups to the people who sent me that, by the way. Dwight, Agent Proper, big ups to all you guys for shooting me the more condensed DM leaks and shit and all that. But you had on Twitter Yellow Flash, who is an avid detractor watcher, and he was commenting on how fucked those DMs were, as well as Chibi Reviews also keeps up with that shit, which is kind of wild, because the last time I brought Chibi up, I got reached out by somebody on Twitter. They asked me to jump into a Discord, which I did. And there's a bunch of anime heads in there, and some of them even recognize me, which is kind of crazy. And there is a lot of guys in the anime, manga, comic book community that follow Darkside Phil and his shenanigans. Far more than I was willing to give credit for. Another story for another day. In any case, so you have all of that going on. So things are getting kind of silly. Now, that was that was essentially right around the time of the leaks, or the Discord drops, or the DM drops, I should say. Now let's get into post drops. I don't think it changes anything. I think, honestly, you have three sides to the story. You have DSP's perspective of it, you have Kino Casino's perspective of it, and then you have the truth in between, to be honest. And looking over just a few of those DMs, there is a lot of stuff in there that makes me believe some of that is true, and DSP is just stretching the truth, or he's trying to downplay it to do this 20, what is it, the 220 fucking 4D chess, whatever bullshit. Well, yeah, whatever. It's actually 2020 D chess move, or whatever it's called. It's really, if you ever had any doubts that DSP had any shred of humanity in him, if you have not been brought up to speed now, then you never will, to be honest. You got to be a vile person to sit there and make those type of claims and think that you can be justified by it. And this is what benefited Kino Casino. This is what's benefiting PPP and Andy. Everything DSP did with those DM leaks is only going to benefit PPP and Andy, because now they can sit there and look at the situation and be like, hey, let's go through more of the DMs, because DSP didn't go through all of them because Rich went ahead and aped out. So it is what it is. But DSP can go ahead and, or sorry, PPP and Kino Casino can present the leaks or the DMs. They can go over DSP's spurg out of it if they haven't already, which I'm pretty sure they have. I just haven't got a chance to get to that yet. I think Diggs is going to handle that. And then they can go over, then they can actually go over what happened, like what the situation was that led to this, what their thought process was when they were sending these DMs back and forth, and what kind of maneuvering they were trying to do. It's really, really fucking insane. But as much ammo as DSP thought he had, and as much as he thought he was going to dispel, all he did was help these guys level up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this was Call of Duty, he ain't sat there and giving these guys all kinds of kill streaks and support streaks and everything else to go along with it. Like, they could literally blow them out the water, and then they don't even have to drop all the leaks. Like, or they don't have to talk about all the DMs, I should say. They can literally spread that out over weeks and still get all of the benefits from it. Whereas DSP had Rich up there. They had like 1,200 views, 1,400 views, 1,500 views, whatever the fuck. And DSP still didn't make no money. You know what I'm saying? It still didn't really benefit him, to be honest. All he did was show how much more of a scumbag that he is. Everything that he said, detractors, trolls, haters, and critics, all he did, I should say, is prove that the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics were right. That's all he did. You know what I'm saying? As it pertains to Kino Casino, they literally can go ahead and say, yeah, we snaked him, we did this, that, and the third. But no one told him to lie about his wife and his family like this. No one told him to do all this crazy shit. Like, DSP has given so much unnecessary context to these fucking leaks, or to these DMs, that it makes him look so much more worse. You know what I'm saying? And for Kino Casino, it's literally just farming content anyway. The house always wins, basically. And now you get to bring Gundam in there, who's gonna sit there and laugh at it anyway. He's gonna sit there and laugh and mock it and have a good time with it, and that's all it really is gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, and this goes back to the situation with Rich. Don't worry, I got a video coming up. If Rich was smart, instead of trying to make that shit about himself, when DSP told him, hey, we're gonna go over these DMs or whatever, he could have pushed to actually send me a link to those. Like, give me a link to those so I can read those along with you. And then what he should have done is went ahead and take those, if he could have gotten that done. I don't think he could have, but if he could, get that, drop both of the links on Twitter, then drop that shit to Duty and drop it in whatever Discord he's in or whatever, and then let DSP go through his delusion and mock the fuck out of him throughout the fucking stream. You know what I'm saying? That could have been easily a 4 or 5 hour stream where Rich really could have gotten shit done and really could have gotten him felted, but instead, Rich was Rich. He couldn't see outside of himself. He couldn't see, you know, further down the line, and he fucked everything up. Which is, of course he did. So the fuck you gonna give this idiot a W when he didn't do anything? He literally didn't do anything. He made a fucking fool out of himself. But then again, I already did a video on this. Rich was trying to get himself kicked off there anyway. Like, you know what I'm saying? He actually kind of admitted it. I think he admitted it on his own stream, that he was in a Discord before he went up there. And he said, yeah, I'm more than likely gonna get kicked off anyway, so whatever. So he was basically working towards it. He didn't provide anybody with anything. He went up there and he made a fool of himself. And he did it before we even got into the DMs, before we even got to anything good. You know what I mean? So anyway, as it pertains to Gundam, Gundam will, of course, being smarter than Rich, will go up there and he'll laugh it all up. He'll probably make a longer video later on down the line, going over this whole Kino Casino saga. And this is going to be a big video for him. It's going to be a big video for everybody, to be honest. Kino Casino has won this exchange. Now, my question to all of you is, after the Gundam situation, who do you get up there next? Do you get that being set up there, or do you go over there? You see, if you try to get Tevin, you could bring Duty up there. They ain't already mocked the shit out of him. He's been paying them money. You might as well get Duty up there and see what his thoughts are and shit. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Where there's plenty of places you can go from here, but truth be told, if DSP is really going to end up doing what he's doing, going with the Ethan Ralph situation, and then whoever else that they decide that he can get to go up there after the fact, Mersh, Cog, Ricada, whoever, then it's become just an arms race. That's all it is. And DSP will exhaust his resources long before Kino Casino will. Final Destination has to be, well, it doesn't have to be, I'm sorry. But Final Destination is more than likely going to be Lol Cow Live. Because, yeah, Kino Casino is the casino, but Lol Cow Live, Keem is the bank. So theoretically, that's the way to go. And the fact that DSP had already blocked it once, but given everything that we're seeing right now, that can still be salvaged. That can still be a thing if they play their cards right. And It'sAGundam is just one step to that. Just like how DSP said to Rich, you were a puppet. You know what I'm saying? You were a stepping stone for me to get what I want or whatever. Now, keep in mind, a lot of that is exaggerated, but there was some truth to that. Rich is a stepping stone, just like DSP is. And DSP, well, Kino Casino set Rich up to be a stepping stone for DSP to get to where he's at. Everybody who's going to be involved in this is also stepping stones to something larger. Now, it's going to be a lot of entertainment value. A lot of people are going to make content out of this. People are going to make their money or whatever the fuck. So it's going to benefit everybody, which is usually the best type of content. It's the best type of content farming, to be honest with you, where everybody can benefit. This way you don't have people running around thinking of themselves as being pillars of community and shit, and they're really not providing anything to do so. You know what I'm saying? It makes a little bit more sense when everybody benefits. High tide raises all sails type thing. That's where we're at with this, to be honest. And like I said, everybody is just in a position to play their part. But I gotta tell you, I think even if DSP didn't drop the leaks, drop the DMs, it still would have been, this show that's happening later on tonight would still be funny. It would still be entertaining. It's still gonna have a lot of questions. The only thing we would be missing is the context from DSP's point of view. We would have to interpret that. Now we don't need to, because DSP is a piece of trash anyway, so realistically it doesn't change anything for me. Probably doesn't change much for any of you guys either. And now we get PPP and Andy's point of view, and then we get Gundam's reaction to it, and then his insight on what he's thinking about it. We all win. We all still win. I don't know if it really changes anything. oh no, DSP is a lying piece of trash that will try to maneuver and manipulate people to feel sorry for him. And he knew that they were going to snake him the entire time, and he was going to use them until he could get over on them. And for what, Phil? For you got verification on Kick, not a contract. You got a verification on Kick. Congratulations, DSP. You spent 8 months felting the Kino casino to get verification, roughly 40 to 50 grand, and that's it. You're still a laughingstock. No one's gonna, people have even more reason not to trust you. You know what I'm saying? And the only people who will do work with you now are people who are as low as you are, if not lower, if that's even possible. Are you fucking serious? And PPP is gonna eat that shit up. It'sAGundam's gonna laugh that shit straight to the fucking bank. And it to be honest with you, there really isn't too much of a difference, I think. Whether DSP dropped them or whether Kino Casino dropped them, the results are still gonna be the same, to be honest. It really does. I mean, really nothing changed, I gotta tell you. But it was amusing, and I think it will be amusing and whatnot. I'm not sure if I'll be able to watch all the show tonight or not. If not, excuse me, I'll catch you the next day. Excuse me. I'll have Diggs clip out what needs to be clipped, and I'll probably clip out mine, and then we'll put it together, and then it'll be a long ass reaction of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll go over it. But that's what the situation is with that. The It'sAGundam Kino Casino stream is one step to a much larger situation, I think. Time will tell, but I think it's really just a stepping stones for a much larger situation down the line. Now, excuse me, most of you are saying, well, wait a second, you know, Golden, if you went through some of the leaks, you saw what Kino Casino said about Gundam. Doesn't that change anything? If Gundam hasn't pulled out of it yet, out of this stream yet, then no, it doesn't change anything. Truth be told, sadly, when you play at that level, man, you're gonna have a lot of people that say a lot of things about each other. It is what it is, to be honest with you. Whether they meant it or whether they were saying it just to get DSP's goat, make of that what you will, and truth be told, that's all up to interpretation. For Gundam, I doubt he cares, to be honest. At the end of the day, I doubt he cares, and if he does, he can bring it up to them. But I mean, does it really matter? You know what I'm saying? That's what they think. That's what they think. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. However Gundam chooses to go at that is how he chooses to go at it. But I think if you're looking at the big picture or whatever, if you know what I'm saying, if you look at it this way, if that's what Kino Casino really thinks about Gundam, then yet again it's just an arms race. That's all it is. Each side is PPP and Kino Casino and DSP are sitting there trying to collect pieces for what's coming ahead. If they get it to get DSP's goat, then DSP himself is blowing up a situation out of desperation, which is only going to end up further driving his fucking snout into the ground anyway. You can't take that personal, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? It's two idiots speaking on someone that they don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Or they've had very limited conversation with or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And if Gundam really feels a certain type of way about it, he'll address it. To be honest, if Gundam feels something serious about that shit, he'll address it. Outside of that, if he's gonna go up there for the shits and giggles, it is what it is. Him going up there and dealing with Kino Casino don't make them friends. He's going up there to laugh about a fucking situation, and he's gonna move on with his night. So I don't think it's any more than that, to be honest. And like I said, if Gundam really feels a certain type of way, plenty of time has gone past or come to pass since the leak, since DSP dropped them. If he had anything to say, he'd said it, to be honest. So that's my thoughts on that. But like I said, what do you guys think? How you guys feel? Like I said, I got a bunch of other videos that I need to get to and whatnot. I got my SnortBucks on deck, and we're about to get to it. But that's my thoughts on tonight's show. Yet again, excuse me. I'll have Diggs get to work on that situation, and we'll hopefully we get it all cut up and everything like that, and we'll react to it later on down the line, because there's the Ethan Ralph smart guy situation. There was the Ethan Ralph pitch. I still need to go over that, so I need to have that out certainly before the first smart guys comes about. There is Review Tech USA's failure so on and so forth. There's a lot to do, bro. There's a lot to do and whatnot. But I'm glad I took all that time off, at least from posting, since that last video went up, because that was a long ass video. You guys don't need anything back to back to back just yet, anyway. But I have been recording because there's been a lot going on, and I wanted to make sure I got my thoughts on wax. So when it's time to be posted, you know what I'm saying, good, bad, or otherwise, at least it's out there. But that's how I'm feeling. That's what I'm thinking. You guys can let me know what you guys think. You know, if you guys think anything. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been, I'll name this segment later, GTG Spits That Grease, so on and so forth. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves, people. Woo! Shit, if things shape up, man, the next couple months will be crazy. It's only March. It's so early. There may not even be any time for detractors to actually go after each other, being that all this content that's out here. But you never know, because things happen for whatever reason. Anyway, let's not end this on a downer. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later, people.